Attorney Sidney Power said in a December 23 interview with Zenger News that White House aides are blocking her efforts to help Trump. This happened after a meeting in the Oval Office on December 18, when Powell was verbally offered the position of Special White House Counsel by Trump. Republican election officials of Michigan's Wayne County, Monica Palmer and William Hartman, received threats after the duo voted against certifying the county's election results. The former initiated a FBI investigation that had her perpetrator charged, while the latter was forced to leave his home for days. Dominion CEO John Poulos was accused of lying during Michigan hearing by a whistleblower, Melissa Carone. Carone is trying to speak with Poulos on live interview about election fraud.
Attorney Sidney Power said in a December 23 that senior White House aides are preventing her from communicating with President Donald Trump in pursuing contest of election challenges on the president's behalf.
And frankly, I've been blocked from speaking to or communicating with the president since I left the Oval Office on Friday night by apparently everyone around him, whether it be inside counsel, outside counsel, White House staff, or whatever. So I have not spoken to the president since I left on Friday night.
Powell's remarks resonate with that from Patrick Byrne, former Overstock CEO, who was also part of the lengthy White House meeting on December 18. Trump is lied to by his own advisors, who tell staff, "Get the president to concede," while they stall Trump, Byrne wrote on Twitter on December 20. Meadows and legal staff led by G.C. Cipollone reflexively shoot down every sober discussion or idea presented. Their frame of mind is automatic. "We better not try that, it may not work, it would hurt your reputation in the press," Byrne wrote. "He needs to fire them all or he loses. I did not vote for him, but I don't want to see our country hijacked in a psyop," Byrne added. Byrne's messages appeared to be a reaction to media reports that the president discussed declaring martial law during the meeting on December 18, which he disputed as 100% false. Powell likewise disputed the claims. "People saying that, including those around him, are liars," Powell wrote on Twitter on December 20. Powell also told Zenger News that she was verbally offered the position of Special White House Counsel by Trump during Friday's meeting, but that has not come to pass.
There was a discussion about me being a Special White House Counsel.
So in other words, a special appointment to Cipollone's office?
Yes, to serve inside the White House. But that has not come to pass.
Interesting. And has that not come to pass because the voices on your side of the ledger were shouted down on Friday? Or has it not come to pass because the president kind of said, okay, fine, we won't do it?
It has not come to pass because it seems that it was blocked after Friday night. Or undone, or I'm not sure
Someone
what to
threw
call
sand
it.
in the gears?
Something like that.
Meanwhile, Trump doubled down on his calls for the appointment of a special counsel to probe election fraud. "I disagree with anyone that thinks a strong, fast, and fair special counsel is not needed immediately. This was the most corrupt election in the history of our country, and it must be closely examined," Trump tweeted on December 23. Monica Palmer, chairwoman of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers, received photos from Caitlin Jones, 23, showing a bloody dead woman lying on the ground. This took place after Palmer, a Republican, voted against certifying the county's election results, according to the Detroit News. Jones is also accused of sending Palmer a photo of her minor daughter. "Your daughter is beautiful. I'd be ashamed if something happened to her. I'd be ashamed if something happened to your daughter at school," read one alleged text message cited in the affidavit, the Daily Mail reported. Jones, from New Hampshire, was charged with threatening violence through interstate commerce after an FBI investigation, officials said in a news release. "The allegations in this case should make all of us disgusted," U.S. Attorney Matthew Schneider said in a statement about the charges. "There is simply no place in Michigan, or in the United States, for chilling threats like this to people who are simply doing what they believe is correct." Jones is facing up to 20 years in federal prison and a fine of up to $250,000. Another Republican member of the board, William Hartman, said he was forced to leave his home for a period of time after receiving threats. "I was scared," Hartman told the Epoch Times on December 22. "The police actually had people stationed outside in different locations, watching, in case anything happened. They were there for 3 or 4 days. The news media went to my house and filmed the front of my house and my address. And then my website was doxxed. And I got over 1,500 hate emails. And you got to then throw social media on top of that. Hartman and Monica Palmer deadlocked the certification in a 2-2 vote on November 17, which resulted in a swift and hostile reaction from Democrats and community leaders over Zoom. Hartman said he didn't vote to certify the results initially because close to 71% of Detroit's absent voter counting boards didn't balance between the machine count and the paper ballot count, and no explanation was provided. "You have more voters voting than you have voters in the precinct. That doesn't make any sense to me," he said. "How did that happen? Nobody can give you an answer." Michigan, with its 16 electoral votes, is one of 7 states that has produced a slate of Republican dueling electors that Congress will count in a joint session on January 6, presided over by Vice President Mike Pence. A Dominion voting systems whistleblower, Melissa Carone, is accusing Dominion's CEO of lying during the recent Michigan Senate hearing. CEO John Poulos answered questions about Dominion's machines and software for several hours. This appeared to be a response to the forensic audit of Dominion products in Antrim County. Russell Ramsland Jr., who led the team that conducted the audit, said that Dominion's voting system intentionally generates an enormously high number of ballot errors, causing the ballots to enter a process known as adjudication, where votes can be manually changed. During the Senate hearing, Poulos told the committee that Dominion works with all political parties and uses a nonpartisan approach. Carone said her manager at the TCF Center in Michigan's Detroit told her numerous times how to identify Trump supporters, and also made derogatory remarks about Republicans and Trump supporters. If one of their owners is making comments like that and statements like that to a worker, then obviously they're not bipartisan, Carone told NTD. Poulos told legislators that most Dominion machines cannot connect to the internet. Carone said, citing a recording she made during a training, that every tabulator in the TCF Center had a modem and was connected to the internet. "He's a liar, and I'm currently in the process of trying to speak with him in person," she said, and she hopes to do it live on One America News Network. 90 to 95% of what he said was a lie. During the Senate hearing, Carone noted that some legislators appeared to struggle to follow what Poulos said, accusing him of speaking in a way that a lot of people wouldn't understand. Many whistleblowers and elected officials who have shown public support for the president and a fair election have come under attack by the left, but Carone says she knows she has support. "If Biden became president, we wouldn't have a free republic. America would never be the same," she added.